There we go. Oh my gosh, it was just spinning. Hello, hi everyone. I was like, please do not do this to me. Okay, real quickly, I think I need to close the blinds. 1 second. Okay, we had a glare there. Sorry about that. Hi everyone. I'm Felicia, physical therapist and health and wellness coach. And as you can see from the title of the video, today I wanted to chat with you guys about the courage that it takes to go after your dreams, the courage it takes to be seen, the courage it takes to follow and chase your goals. So if you guys pop in, just say hello in the chat. And I think for those that watch the replay, hello, hi, Tina. Happy Friday. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that it's here. After this live, I'm going to take a shower and put on my pajamas. It's been a long week. Oh my goodness. So what I want to do is go ahead and like start sharing like and talk about what the title of the video is about. And then you guys can like leave questions, comments, whatever it is you want to do in the chat. And then I'll just kind of like go back and forth. And I think that makes it a little bit easier for whenever people are like watching the replay. So today, as I mentioned, I wanted to talk about the courage that it takes. And I want you to know you're so worth it. Like you guys are so incredibly worth it. But the courage that it takes to like show up as the person that you want to be. And this, you guys know, like I'm on a 100-pound weight loss journey here, but this goes is deeper than weight loss. It can be. You can consider it weight loss, part of your fitness journey, but this the same thing applies when it comes to relationships within your career, if you're trying to start a business, or even something as simple as if you're sitting at a table amongst peers, colleagues, friends, and the discussion is about something like, let's say, for instance, if they're like gossiping about something, or like, let's say, for instance, if they're talking about social matters that you just don't quite agree with, but like to have the courage just to share like a different experience. I just think that that is all of these things. It just takes a lot of courage. And I can tell you guys that before before I've kind of evolved into the person that I am now, life was so much easier when I would just sit in the background and keep quiet. Like life was so much easier when I would just like agree with everyone, or just agree with everything, or just kind of like go with the flow. I really think like life was a lot easier then. But now that I'm in a place now to where, I mean, I don't feel a need to speak on everything. A lot of times I just let people like say whatever needs to be said. But where I'm having the courage to go after my own dreams and like chase my own goals, you guys, it can be scary out here to say the least. It can be very scary. Um, so some of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about, like I can even tell you, before I started like working on myself and like working on my own goals, it was so much easier for me. Like any free time I had outside of parenting or like, family stuff or working, it was just a lot easier to like focus on other people, right? It was so much easier to do things of service for other people, or overall, sometimes, not for everyone, but for me, like doing things like that is actually a distraction from having the courage to like actually work on myself. I don't know if that makes sense to any of you guys or not. So I wanted to talk about like three top reasons why I feel it definitely takes courage. So, number one, once you decide that you're going to go after that dream, that goal, whatever it is that your heart is truly desiring, number one, you're admitting that there's work to do. And I know that sounds so simple, but when you're admitting that there's work to do, you're admitting that you're not where you want to be now. You're admitting that you have to change, right? And I think that's hard for a lot of people. Like even for myself, like I knew, and the three phases I'm going to talk about today, you can move through those like at different paces. Like some people they hit number one, two, three. Some people it take years. Like people will stay years and just admitting that there's work to do. And for me, like I started acknowledging, like, okay, yeah, there's definitely some work to do. Number one, with my weight loss journey. And then also realizing that I was definitely playing small, like in my like career and my profession, like as a physical therapist, that I was kind of like withholding a lot of knowledge and just a lot of things that I could be sharing, could be helping people with. But it was just, as I mentioned, it was so much easier just to kind of like sit in the background. Um, so yeah, number one, it takes a lot of courage to admit that there's work to do. So if you're trying to start your weight loss journey, that takes courage to say, okay, I need to make a change. If you're trying to grow as an individual, self development, if you're admitting that I've got inner work. I've got some things that I need to work on. And if you have to decide like to work with a therapist or a coach, like that takes courage, to even get to that point. Or if you're admitting that you want to go back to school and continue your education, you're admitting to yourself that you're not where you want to be at this moment. Like even though you want to improve and be better, it takes courage to admit that there's a lot of room for improvement. Same thing with changing our behaviors, starting a business, all of those things, being the best parent you want to be. Admitting is the first step, and that definitely takes a lot of courage. So let's talk about number two. And this is where I was stuck for a long time. After you admit that there's work to do, the next step is admitting, realizing, and honoring that you are the one that's going to have to do that work. Oh my gosh. That can be overwhelming because so many of us have waited our entire lives. Like we've spent time in bad relationships, in horrible job situations. We've spent time, not taking care of our health and neglecting our bodies. We've spent time just doing the things that do not serve us for long periods of time because we've just been waiting for someone to come and save us and rescue us. But once you truly realize that it's you, it's all on you. Like admitting and honoring that you're the one that's going to have to do the hard work, that takes courage because it's easy, as we talked about in number one, when you first admit that there's work to be done. But once you admit that you're the one that's going to have to be responsible for it, the ownership is back on you. Like now you can't blame anyone else, right? And sometimes in life, like even the best of us, it's easier to blame other people. Like I can't do this because of this, or, you know, I can't work out because I have kids. I can't work out because I got to take the kids to practice, or I can't work out or I can't eat right because I've got to cook for everyone else. And sometimes that distracts me, or I can't go back to school because of this. And I'm not saying that any of these reasons and excuses are not legit. You can admit that all of these things that we've talked about so far and just decide that right now, I can't do it. Like, I don't have any more room on my plate, but like, even for me, I had to take a moment and look at that plate that was already loaded and already filled. And I had to like ask myself, like, Felicia, do you even like the things that are on this plate? And even more so, why are there all chicken nuggets? There's stuff for everybody else and nothing for you. Where are my fries? You guys know I love my fries. Why am I carrying a plate that's so full and it's full of everything for everyone else? And there's not even one single thing on that plate for me. So, definitely, guys, it takes a lot of courage, or otherwise, what happens is you just stay stuck. You stay stuck looking at that person that you have the potential to be. Like even right now, like you guys know, I'm on a 100-pound weight loss journey. So the person that I am aiming to be physically and for my health, that chick is still like 55 pounds away. So it takes courage for me to wake up every single day and be like, this is where I'm going. This is where I'm going. It's so much easier. It was so much easier for me to not focus on this journey. But once you set a goal, you set an intention, and you start chasing the desires of your heart, it takes work. It's not going to be easy. And I'm not saying that it has to be hard. Every day is not hard. There's a lot of fun, there's a lot of joy, there's a lot of goodness in it. But just admitting that you're the one that's going to be responsible for that work, that's the real deal right there. So I know, like, a lot of times that's what keep people stuck. That's what keep people from not chasing that goal or like going after the thing that they desire, is because they realize the work is all on them. So let's just talk about number three. So the third thing, like sometimes I've noticed that it keeps people stuck or keeps people from chasing their dreams is that for those that do finally like find the courage to, they admit that there is something that needs to be changed, they admit that they're ready to do the work. And then the next thing is that once you step out, it can be scary. There's a lot of fear. There is a lot of fear on the other side of number one and number two. So once you step out, like you can find courage and work your way all the way through. But once you step out, be prepared. Definitely be prepared because whenever you're going after something that's like let's say it's like an unknown for you, even if you're graduating from high school and then you're trying to go to college, like that's an unknown world, unknown territory. You've heard other people's stories, you can share and you can relate, but for you to walk through it, it will still be something new and different that you've never done before. I have women, that are walking out of old relationships that were not serving them. That's scary. Even like let's say for instance, if you've been married for a long period of time and um now you're having to get divorced or whatever it is, that is scary. Walking on the other side of the unknown from what you're unfamiliar with, or even like if you've been single for a long period of time and now you're entering a new relationship, that's scary. That's really scary. And the same thing for you guys that are starting your weight loss journey, your fitness journey, your health journey. You don't know everything day one. Like you will continue to grow and evolve into a different person as you're going along. And that can be really, really scary. But I promise you, it is so worth it. It is so incredibly worth it. That's what I wanted to do today. I'll see what you guys are seeing in the chat. I just wanted to come on and like share that with you guys. And then also, I'll share with you guys, like in full transparency, I've walked through steps one and two. Like I've admitted that there was definitely something else that I wanted. And then two, I acknowledge and honor the fact that there is work. Like there's work that I'm gonna have to do in order to get to where I'm trying to be. And then number three, sometimes it's scary. And even for me, I've been on this journey for 18 months and like there's been levels for me. Like I lost my first 20 pounds before I even started sharing the journey. Like my immediate family knew and like some of my cousins knew, but I had tried and stopped so many weight loss journeys before that I just did not feel comfortable like even sharing the journey. So I had already lost 20 pounds before I started sharing. And then as I started to share, like the person that I've become, I share like on an Instagram reel that I've developed I've become such a better coach and a better therapist by enduring and going through this journey myself. There is something about being able to relate to patients when they tell you they can't do XYZ because of XYZ. Because when I was a new therapist and I was fresh out of the military, fresh from running track and field, fresh doctorate behind my name, like everything that science told you, like that was all that I knew. But like the elders say, you live a little bit, just keep waking up, just keep waking up, and you'll have more experience under your belt. So like this has evolved even more into me becoming like a better therapist. And like you guys know, like I'm launching my health coaching business. Like, so it's scary sometimes, even here, like sometimes I'll see things um or hear things even about myself that I'm like, really? Like not all positive, and it causes me to even like want to play small or like downplay myself or hide, So I'll tell you guys that once you decide that you want to chase your dreams and you're going to go after that thing that means everything to you, that thing that you think about when you go to sleep, that thing that you're thinking about when you're in the shower, it will take courage, but it is so worth it. Like, I love it here. I do. I love it here. But I'll tell you, like, if you're trying to start a new business or you decide to go back to school, like you're risking the chance of number one, like being misunderstood. Like that definitely happens. I could tell you guys, like, sometimes even having an online presence, which is still kind of new for me. Sometimes people like make assumptions about you based upon like a video or like something that you share or like 30 seconds or 60 seconds of your life. And you're like, what? Like, you know what I mean? But like, when you're so dedicated to that thing that you're going after, the hard part is that you don't even have time to address like every other issue because it takes energy to do that, right? It takes energy. So you're going to risk the chance of this being misunderstood. If you're deciding that you want to go back to school, you want to build your business, you want to grow in whatever area it is, just be prepared. Like you're gonna hear you're better, you think you're better than, you think you like it's a lot, but you guys, it is so worth it. It is so worth it to not play small, to walk into the gifts that you have. I see like a lot of you guys here on your weight loss journeys, like you guys are doing an incredible job. And I see some of the comments, but I see you guys continuing to show up over and over again. And I definitely want to applaud you for that. And then even people like over on Instagram that I follow, like just going at growing their businesses or excelling in their careers or just trying to be like the best parents that they can be. And everyone has a different situation. Like there are individuals that are parenting like children with special needs. That takes it takes a lot. It takes a lot of like mental and physical energy, like a lot more than, you know, what most people expect. But there are a lot of moms out there that are like nailing it, and that's their thing. Like that's where they choose and want to excel, you know what I mean? So like sometimes you will hear, like I know moms that they'll get invited to like certain events, but because of, the situation with their child, like they just don't go. It's too much stimulation from them, and then stimulation for them, and then they get like a lot of pushback from others, like, oh, they never come to that. You risk the chance of being misunderstood for trying to be that amazing mom or that amazing parent that you're trying to be. So I just want to let you guys know that it is so worth it to go after those goals. Real quickly, there's a okay, Tina. How do you break down your goals in general? Also, do you like to set annual, quarterly goals, or do you set them up as you feel you have time? Okay, that's a really good question. So, first, it depends on what the goal is. Do you have a goal in particular, or do you want me to give general, like just general stuff? Because I can tell you, like for my finances, because my finances are pretty set. I can set okay. So finances, I can set those up like yearly, sometimes even further out, because typically for me and our household, like typically those don't really change much. So financial planning, I can do that a year out, but I'll still do it like on a every 2 week period anyways. Like I'll just go in and check, but for the most part I can forecast financial goals for a year out. Now if we're talking about other goals, school education. So we have a daughter that's in college right now, and we knew like prior to her going to college that she would be graduating early because she has plans to become a physician's assistant. But at the time, she didn't know if she was going to medical school, going to get her Psych D, or going to become a physician assistant. But the goal was to graduate college early, so she started in high school. So we were able to forecast that out as well. Now, let's talk about health. So, with health, this is where I say, as a newer physical therapist, I said a lot of things to my patients that was probably a little insensitive. Now that I look back at it with my 41-year-old eyes, um, health cannot always be predicted. It cannot. Like, if you have, like, let's say, for instance, if you have perfect blood work, you have no underlying conditions, you've never had difficulty losing weight, everything has just been smooth, smooth, smooth. Let's talk about 20-year-old Felicia, okay? 20-year-old Felicia would have had no problem losing the recommended 1 to 2 pounds a week. No problem at all, okay? Now, fast forward, there's been other things going on, hormonal imbalance, so many other things going on. For me, now my weight loss goal is very general, very general. Instead of focusing on like the number that I want to lose each week or the number I want to lose each month. Hi, how are you? So instead of focusing on like a specific number, I focus more on my habits, and I track my habits to make sure that as long as I keep doing the habits that serve me well, then I will lose weight. Does that make sense, Tina? So financial plans, yes, I'm able to forecast because they don't change. But when it comes to my health, there are still a lot of things. Like I can tell you guys, if I go a week or two without getting enough sleep, that will affect my weight. If I go a week or two and I don't hydrate myself well enough and I'm not drinking enough water, that will affect my weight. If I have stressful weeks and I don't find ways to cope with them, like let's say, for instance, if I'm not going for my walks, or like let's say if I don't have that downtime or get extra sleep, then I will gain weight. So right now, for me, I don't put a specific number. Like I don't say, this week I want to lose 1 pound. This week I want to lose 2 pounds. And you can do that. And a lot of people have great results from doing that. But for me, for where I am right now, I'm still trying to allow my body to heal. You know, my goal here is to help people lose weight, get healthy, and live happy. So for me, it's all about healing. It's not just about the weight loss. Like there are so many other things, and we can go over this like in another video. But even if you take a woman that has gone through trauma or has gone through like a recent breakup, like so many other things can cause a woman to, or anyone, but we're talking about mostly women here, can cause a woman to hold weight and her body not want to release it. So for me right now, when it comes to weight loss, I focus more on my habits. I set goals. So you guys know I try to walk at least 10,000 steps a day. And then as far as like fasting, I try to fast at least 16 hours a day. So I do the things, the habits that should cause me to reach my goals, if that makes sense. Okay. Michelle's here. Hi, Michelle. Happy Friday. Yes, I'm so happy that Friday is here. Finally. Oh my goodness. I love the title and the topic. I am trying to show it for me too. That is so awesome. Yes, and you're doing a good job with it too. Like I was talking earlier about, I noticed the people that are here on their weight loss journeys and just documenting like their life and their journeys. Like that takes so much courage. And I was sharing earlier, Michelle, like sometimes I've seen like in the comment section, like people can be so randomly mean. Like I don't know why strangers on the internet like attack other people. I don't know, it's just so weird to me. But the fact that you guys keep showing up and doing your thing and like being a great example for other people, you know, my goal here has always been to just be as open and realistic as possible. And my goal, like, I'm not trying to yes, I have a doctorate in physical therapy. Yes, I'm a health and wellness coach. Yes. But the reason that I show up every day, I made the decision that I am not here to be an influencer. Like, I don't care if people like me or not. I am here to help people get healthy, first lose weight, get healthy, and live happy, right? Like that is why I'm here. And I'm willing to be open and share my journey along the way. Like sometimes, you know, going back to that whole fear thing, sometimes like when you haven't even reached your goal yet, right? So it's kind of like, yeah, it would have been so easy for me to just wait until I hit my 100-pound weight loss journey and then came back and like showed all the old videos about how I did it and come out here like bam as an expert to be like, yes, I'm a physical therapist and health and wellness coach, and let me teach you XYZ, blah, 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 blah. That would have been great. But my goal is to show people along the way because I plan to be here for a really long time. So 5 years from now, I want the opportunity, and I want the opportunity for myself as well as for my patients and my clients to look back and like see, no, 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 I went through that too. Like I experienced that too. And it's not someone that's just talking at you. Like I'm talking from a place of experience. So yes, I appreciate that you guys continue to show up for yourselves. I want to be healthy, long haul healthy. Exactly. And that's what my channel is all about. Like I want people to be healthy. I am here for the people that want to be healthy, to go hiking, you know, with their family, for the people that once we're older, that can get down like on your knees. Like when or if I do have grandchildren, I want to be like that cool grandma that can like get down on my knees and play with my grandkids. And I want to be the one that can like go to their sporting events and walk up and down the bleachers without any difficulty. I want to be the one that can sit and like watch hours of volleyball or softball or wherever the sport is and not have back pain or like not feel like uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm talking about. Like those are the people that I'm here to serve. The people that want to be able to bend down and clean their shower or clean their tub and like not have knee pain. You know, and guys, there's so many studies which I'll talk about like in later videos where if you just lose like a small percentage of your weight, like how much it changes and it releases like pressure from your joints and how it helps inflammation and pain go away. Like there are so many benefits about just losing weight, and it's not like, yeah, it feels nice to look good. Come on, like let's just get the vanity part out of the way. It feels great to look good, but it also feels great to be able to move pain free and to be able to move without like shortness of breath or, different things like that. So we're all about quality of life here. Um, okay, Tina, I'm glad that you said that makes sense. And then Michelle said it's been a long week. Yes, yes. Keyboard pirates that hide behind the computer, block, delete, and give it no credit. Exactly, exactly. Um, and then yes, Michelle says yes, exactly. Like that's what we're all here for. So you guys, wait, let me just check my notes real quickly, and make sure I covered everything. If you have any questions, this will be a good time to drop those in the chat and we can go over those as well. But yeah, so we talked about, for those of you that are just popping in, we talked about like why it's so important why it takes courage, to like go after your goals and your dreams. And we talked about like so many different things about how number one, you're actually admitting that not that something's wrong, but that something needs to change. And that's pretty scary. And then number two, you're admitting that there's work to do. And then you're admitting and realizing and honoring the fact that that work is on you. Like you're the one that's going to have to do it. So that could be pretty dang on scary. And then number three, we talked about stepping out and how there is fear and there's fear on the other side of that. Like once you find the courage to go after that dream, go after that business, write that book, go back to school, leave that bad relationship, try and like go for a new, like all of that. It takes courage and it's scary. It can be scary. So I know sometimes you see people like online that you're like, dang, like they just got it all figured out. Like, how are they doing this? Like, it just seems like they just have it all together. And there are people out there that do. There are a lot of people that have it together. But I'm here to share with you guys that I still feel the fear. Like it still takes courage for me. Not every day, but some days. Some days I just want to like just go hide in my little cocoon and, you know, just come back in like 3 months. But I know, like, I feel so strongly about helping other people that I continue to show up. And I feel strongly about um not just helping other people, but it's also like my passion. Like it's something that yearns and burns so deeply inside of me. Like I wake up some nights, from my sleep thinking about more ways in which I can help my patients and my clients. So it's definitely it's something that's worth me chasing. Um yes, Michelle says scary. Yeah, and it's half the battle. Exactly. Exactly. So just know that it's definitely worth it, guys. I hope that you found encouragement from this video. I hope that, and by me just sharing my real life with you guys and just sharing with you my journey along the way and what made me decide to like be even more open about this is because I'm here for the long haul. So I am here. I know that there will be a time that I'll look back on this video, or I'll look back on the series of videos that I've put out so far, and I'm just gonna be like, girl, I'm so proud of you. And I know that there's gonna be a time where my patients or where my clients look back and they're like 5 years from now, there's no way that you used to be, 100 more pounds. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, yeah, I have proof. Here you go. Take a look at it. So, if you guys don't have any more questions, then I'll wait a little bit for any questions or comments. Tina, did I answer your question completely? So I don't know if I finished the the answer. Like, so back to the thing with our daughter. So she will be graduating college like 2 years and a few semesters early. But that was because it was like part of the plan. It was something that we forecasted ahead of time. Thank you. I really resonated with the topic today. All of your topics are awesome and relatable. Awesome. Yay. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Michelle says, for a newbie on exercise, what would you suggest? Okay, so this is where it depends. Before I answer that, tell me, do you have any like issues? Like, do you have any joint pain, back, knees, hips, shoulders? Um, do you have any other like underlying health conditions? You don't have to go into all of your history, but if there's anything like where you get short of breath or where you can only walk for X amount of time. Like, these are a lot of things that we go through in coaching, but I'm going to give you guys some general advice here. With Michelle says she does yoga and she walks daily. Okay, and no other issues. So my question for you is, what is your goal? Are you still, you're trying to lose weight, right? You're still doing keto and losing weight. So I'm going to assume that weight loss is the goal. And then my other question for you is, are you seeing any success from what you're currently doing? Like, from the yoga and the walking, are you seeing any progress? You want weight loss and core strength. Okay, so yoga's great for that. And the reason I want to know is because, guys, sometimes we'll be doing something that's working. We'll do something that works and then we get distracted by all the shiny objects because you flip on Instagram or you flip on YouTube or you flip on whatever it is, and like there's this new program that you see someone else doing, or someone else is having great results from this, and it's so easy to want to drop that thing that you're doing that may be working. I'm waiting to see if Michelle says like it's working for her now, because what you're doing may be enough. It really may be enough. I've lost People don't believe me. Like, I get messages quite often and they're like, "What are you doing to work out? What exercises are you doing?" I lifted weights for a brief period of time, and even now I still haven't. I went one day in the garage to start lifting and I was so distracted. Squirrels, squirrels, that I went for a walk instead. So my goal is to start back lifting, and I shared that with you guys, but I still have not done that. Like, walking is really, it's the primary thing that I do. So I'm waiting for Michelle's response to see if what she's doing, because I think it's working. If I'm not mistaken, you're actually having really good success. I've been on this amount of activity daily for a while. I'm not weighing, but once every 30 days, just went so I feel better, just went cleaner. So I feel better, but I don't know about weight loss wise yet. Okay, let me share this with you guys. So, was it Saturday, Friday? Friday or Saturday? I can't remember which day. It was myself and a friend that, when I used to teach spin classes, she would come to my spin classes. And at that time, we were, gosh, how many years was that? 10 years ago, 10 or more years ago. And she and I were just laughing. She's a grandparent, she's a grandmother now. But she and I we're laughing at ourselves because we used to go so hard. We would work out twice a day. We would do spin in the morning, come back, spin at night. We would do weightlifting after we spin in the mornings. Like we were, you guys, I've done it all. I've done CrossFit. I've worked with the trainer. Like I've done all the things. And when it comes to weight loss, if weight loss is the primary goal, clean up the diet. Diet first. And I know that, yes, cleaner keto, diet first, and if your diet is clean, and I know like there are a lot of people, I have like family members and friends that watch my channel, and they can tell you guys like that I've done it all. I've actually, even here on my channel, like you'll see where I've done CrossFit, and I'm not saying that those things don't work. They were really good and they are really good for helping me build strength. But when the primary goal is weight loss, clean up the diet, and then depending upon what else you have going on, you can do cardio. I would say I would need to know, I'm sorry, like I would need to know like a lot more, like as far as like what type of cardio, but I'm gonna give you general. So as I mentioned in the video about which exercises to do, for someone like me that was dealing with like hormonal imbalance, and we talked about the three body types, the endomorph, ectomorph, and mesomorph. So for me, I was trying to move out of that endomorph, whereas with the endomorph, you need lots of cardio, clean diet, low carbs, cardio, and when you do weight training, quick intensity to get the heart rate up and get the heart rate elevated. Then once you move back into that mesomorph, you can afford to lift 1 to 2, they say 3 to 5. For me, still 1 to 2 times a week is enough because I tend to gain muscle very easily. And I still have to continue switching up my cardio. So some days I'll do a light, easy walk. Other days I'll push myself with like run, walk, jog intervals. And I'll do that 1 to 2 times a week. So I'm waiting to hear back from Michelle. But from experience and from what I've seen with other individuals as well, the diet is the secret. And I've tried. I've done half marathons. I've done triathlons. You cannot outwork a bad diet. Like you can't. It's all about your diet. So, and I think you're already doing great anyways. And you guys go by Michelle's channel, Life Adventures with Keto. Show her some love over there. She's doing a great job. I think sometimes we're really hard on ourselves, but you're doing a great job. You really are. I'm waiting. I don't know if she's still typing or sometimes like it kicks you off. Great, thanks. My body is just used to what I'm doing. Okay, so if your body's used to doing what you're doing, yes, try to shake it up. Try doing like when you're out doing your walks, do some jog walk intervals and then throw in 1 day of weight training and see how that goes. Maybe 20 to 30 minutes worth. Keeping your heart rate elevated. So short rest periods between each exercise and then see how that goes. And the other thing too, you guys, whenever you're doing weightlifting, you don't have to change your program every week. You're welcome. Focus on large muscle groups. So, and then you also want to do like compound movements. So, like squats, use those big muscle groups, or doing like overhead press, clean and press. Focus on compound movements, and you can take the same workout and you can do that same workout for like 4 weeks. I'm not even kidding you because the goal is to get stronger. And sometimes when you continue to change your exercise, you're not allowing those muscles to like load and build and become stronger in those positions. I was one of those people, not gonna lie. I used to change my workout programs like every week. There's no need. There's really no need. So give that a try, and I would love to hear like how that goes for you. But most of all, keep it fun. Like if you find yourself lifting weights and it's not fun, then don't do it. Find something that's going to be fun for you because that's what you'll most likely stick with. Or use like I know Christy Christy's live. Chris, I can't remember, but sometimes she'll do like workout videos. So if that's fun for you, try a video and maybe throw some weights in there and use weights when you do those videos and see how that feels. But definitely find something that you love, and then, and I say that because your goal is still like weight loss. Now, you guys will see me, this is gonna take a while, but once I get to the point to where like I'm just trying to like put on muscle and like build strength, I'll do a lot of stuff that I don't want to do. But at that point, it's just like science, like just building muscle, right? Versus losing weight. Like losing weight is different. And I don't think it's talked about enough. But Michelle says, have a great weekend. And I'm definitely doing the buffet style. Yes. And you have adults moving back in. I saw that. That sounds like a lot of fun. I do want to tell you, I think that that is great. I don't believe in like putting our kids out super early. And I think that is great that they can come back with you and start building their life and getting on their feet. So that's so cool. And she's referring to the video, the last video that I did where I talked about how I now feed my family and like still lose weight. And also fast. I think the video title is How to Feed Them Kids or something like that. I know proper English, guys. It was just funny, so I went with it. So thank you so much for jumping on, Michelle. I appreciate you. All right, guys. Does anyone have any more questions or comments? And as always, if you don't want to share them here, feel free to message me, shoot me a DM. I will be more than happy to do another video and address your questions. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this live video. Please have the courage, find the courage. I would love to help you find it to go after the goals that you want, because I promise you guys, it is so worth it. You're worth it. And as scary as it is for me, I love it here. I do. I promise you that I do. All right, guys. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.